This reading is for all my ladies, all my divine feminines. Welcome to my reading. I felt very called to do a reading on what the divine feminine really needs to hear right now. So let's get started. I already shuffled, but I'm just going to do one more shuffle. Okay. Oh, something already coming out. So we have the Star. That's always promising. The Star is actually the card that comes out after a Tower moment. Judgment. Interesting. Can I get one more card, Spirit? Anyway, yeah, so the Star is a card that comes right after the Tower. And Tower is all about major upheaval, destruction, but it's like a divine intervention. Like it's crumbling what does not serve us and what is meant to leave our lives. And then the Star, it represents like kind of like the rebirth. In my own personal journey, I've been going through definitely like an ego death, a lot of upheaval, and just like, moving through a lot of yucky emotions. But I know that I am not defined by these emotions I'm feeling. These are just being released, and I do not attach to them. So yeah, right now I might be releasing things like depression and sadness and grief, but what's really juicy is that I am calling in so much joy and fulfillment and happiness, and that's really exciting. So we have the Star, Judgment, and Three of Cups. I'm just going to get a clarifier. Can I get a clarifier for the Star, please, Spirit? Clarifier for the Star, Spirit. Energy doesn't want to, oh, there we go. So I got 3 cards. So instantly, this is definitely for the divine feminines experiencing a separation with their person. It doesn't have to be Twin Flame, it could be really anyone. So it's clarified by the Two of Cups in reverse, 10 of Wands in reverse, and the 8 of Swords in reverse. So that's actually really, really good energy. Spirit is definitely talking about, holding hope and faith for a big breakthrough. And I do feel like there is a big breakthrough coming for the divine feminine. Okay, can I get, no, I've got lots of energy coming through. Can I get a clarifier for Judgment? Clarifier for Judgment. It's so funny. I find that sometimes like certain cards will have a lot of energy and like they'll like fly all over the place, and then some cards that you're trying to get a clarifier for, like just now with the Star, it took like a long time for me to get the cards from Spirit. And what I think that's saying is that like some divine feminines might be feeling like they're like really waiting and wishing and like, you know, like trying to like find this big breakthrough that they feel is coming. And even though it might be taking a while to manifest, that doesn't mean that it's not happening. Spirit's saying that it is happening, and it's going to be quite the breakthrough, I think. I'm really drawn to the star in the star card, and just like, you know, keep putting your faith and your trust in the divine, and, you know, like it's being guiding you perfectly, and it's safe to trust that. Okay, sorry for that tangent. So for Judgment, the clarifier is the High Priestess in reverse. And what about the Three of Cups? Three of Cups. Let's get a clarifier for that. Spirit. The Nine of Wands in reverse. So I like to see that. Nine of Wands energy is really, it's like a card that reminds me of like being super guarded and like irritated by triggers emotionally. And when I see that in reverse, it kind of reminds me of like someone like coming into calmer waters and like pulling that guard down and opening their heart more. Ah, yes. On the back of the deck is Ten of Swords in reverse. And I instantly get inner healing. Great inner healing. Okay, let's get some oracle cards. Okay. Getting some cards right now from the oracle card deck. Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. I love this deck because she really focuses on like your divine spiritual mission. And whoop, I have 3. Oh no, I have a lot. I'm not gonna take all of them though. So yeah, like I was just saying, she really like focuses on like your spiritual mission. And honestly, as you go further and further along your twin flame journey, you really realize that it is an ascension path, and you really are here for a soul's mission. It's deeper than a romance. And like, the more you get clarity on who you are, the clearer that your divine mission on this earth is. So that's really beautiful. So the cards that we got is Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? All about self-care. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. This card really reminds me of play. Do something fun. And then the last card is Align Your Life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Okay, so I'm also going to pull from Dark Mirror. This oracle card deck is very explicit on like, you know, the triggers and blocks that are being near to you in your life. So Spirit, what card do I need from this deck? So number 27, Fragmentation. I think I'll pull 3, so Atonement, number 31. And this one is very much like the Ten of Swords. It's a picture of a girl without a top. She's naked from the top up. And she's got a whole bunch of swords stabbing her in the back. Okay, and one more Spirit. going to take them. I had a really strong drawing to this deck, so it's a lot about like the blocks that we're working through. So number 20, Downcast Pride. And it's so interesting, this card. I'm very drawn to the fact that like it's only a head, and then like the bottom half is looking like roots, like from a tree, but like it's got nothing to ground to. So I'm getting the strong message that the Divine Feminine needs to focus on grounding. Number 6, Alone in the World. And I'm drawn to the fact that this is a quarter moon. So I have been kind of like feeling into the energy of the collective, and there might be like a little bit of an energy of feeling alone and like something is missing. And I think that it's important to reiterate that like this is something that you're not alone, that you're going through. Like it's kind of something that the Divine Feminine Collective is working through and releasing. And just a reminder that like releasing codependency is so important on the twin flame journey, because your twin flame cannot be your source. They will not be your source. Like they will repel. And I've actually been reflecting, because I am in separation with my Divine Masculine after being in union for 4 months. And I've been reflecting on a certain way that I was trying to connect with my Divine Masculine. And, you know, it kind of made me go, oh, like, what's wrong with me? And, like, I really had to, like, heal in the area of self-acceptance. But it wasn't me. It was the energy that I was coming towards the situation in. And I found great healing and clarity in that. And then we have number 15, Masquerade. This card, it always reminds me of like, you know, the soul having like so like it's a guy from like the olden times, and he's got like a hat for like a masquerade ball, but like to me it reminds me of how ego tries to like attach and attack you and make you fearful and not wanting to move forward. And another thing that I'm really drawn to is that the moon on this card, because like it also like goes with like the moon cycles. This kind of reminds me of a breakthrough coming. And it's like a sign that like, yeah, you're like, when the ego is seething and like really attacking you, it's because you're nearing that completion. You're completing a cycle of healing, and you're close to a breakthrough. Okay, let's do angel answers. What does the Divine Feminine really need to know right now? No. Okay. And it's interesting because this card, it looks like, so it's the Divine Feminine, and it looks like Spirit's like speaking to her. And it's not a no that I'm getting. It's more of like a not right now. Like the door's closed, or like I'm not giving you the green light right now. What else does the Divine Feminine really need to know right now? I will tell you that like the energies I'm getting is that like this is like a very, very transformative time for the Divine Feminine. And like it's juicy. Like there's so many like blessings and like doors just waiting to burst open. Just gotta keep going, girl. Or I mean, if you don't always have to identify as a girl. Ah! Yeah, see, just exactly what I was saying. Big happy changes. And can I get one more? Abundance. Woohoo! I like that. I'm really focusing on my finances, so I like that. I'm liking that one. Okay, and then we will do my favorite oracle deck. I honestly recommend it to anybody that is working through their healing work and through the blocks of their ascension path. It is the Quantum Oracle. It is by Sandra Ann Taylor, and it's just amazing. It helps me so much with like figuring out like where my energy is and like how I can, you know, really get through those blocks. So we have back and forth, and the category is intention. Number 5. Number 5 is all about change. Okay, what else does the Divine Feminine need to know right now? What else does a Divine Feminine need to know right now? Teacher. And the category is for people. One more. Great gratitude. Okay. And the other card that I'm pulling, it's actually, again, from Work Your Light. I just felt drawn to pull another card. And it actually did fall down, and maybe I just like wasn't trusting my intuition, but it is called Work Your Light, Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? I'm just like, I'm memorized by this card. That's probably why I was like kind of like stuttering. It's very much like Divine Feminine in her power. She's holding a sword. It kind of reminds me of Ace of Swords. And Ace of Swords is all about clarity. Clarity of like what is like right in your heart. And I think that's beautiful. Okay. So let's get started with the reading. I mean, I think I kind of already like have been like giving tidbits here and there. So like the first thing that I get before I get into the tarot is that the Divine Feminine is going through like a major healing cycle. And it kind of reminds, it's like the energy has like shifted a little bit. Like, I do believe the Divine Masculine is going through a massive transformation themselves, but Spirit's reminding me of like the Lion's Portal last year, and like how like heavy of a healing cycle the Divine Masculine was going through. Well, this is kind of like shifted, and the Divine Feminine is now like diving in, whereas like before you may have been like holding the towel for your Divine Masculine. So yeah, let's go into the tarot. So we have the Star, upright, Judgment, and the Three of Cups. So the Star is all about renewal and keeping the faith, even though like things like feel really like dark and dreary and hopeless. And Spirit's like saying like, you know, like don't believe in like the facade, and like, you know, like it's almost like there's like a mask or like a barrier or a veil like stopping you from seeing like all the manifestation and all the blessings and greatness that you are like manifesting right now. But that like shouldn't let you it shouldn't stop you from taking one step in front of the other, because what Spirit's saying is that like you are manifesting so much, and Spirit often, you know, gives you like these like nudges and like these signs of confirmation, and Spirit's saying like, think about those signs of confirmation. What have I been saying to you? Like what message have I been giving? And shout out to like one of my besties. She got a bouquet of flowers from a secret admirer, and for me, that was just like a testament of like how much transformation and like purification she's been doing towards her soul and her vibration, and like it's calling in like really exciting things. And you know, that's like the most romantic thing that the divine could ever do for you. And in my opinion, like it just, the vibration and feeling of that is just so much like magnetism and desire, and like, yeah, it's such a beautiful feeling. And Spirit's saying that like there's been a lot of signs being sent to you that are like trying to have glimmers of like a manifestation like that, because you know it might seem kind of small that someone got a bouquet of flowers from a secret admirer, but not on this journey, because you know we're not really putting ourselves out there in a typical way on this journey. If you were following the teachings of union and how to honor your sexual energy properly, you aren't giving off that vibration to others. So the fact that that came to this person is like a really big like sign and testament that her vibration is changing, and she is attracting the right type of romance and divine love and romance. And I think that that was just like really important to share, because you know it is tempting and could be a lot easier to, you know, just like put on a hot number and you know go out for drinks with your girlfriend or like however, and you know, and attract that divine, it's not even divine, it's just like male attention. And what Spirit is saying about what happened in this situation was that she wasn't even doing anything to attract anything other than divine love. And like it's showing her, yeah, wow, like this is working, keep going, like you are manifesting, you are attracting in the love and like energy and lifestyle that you were wanting. Like to me it was like you are entering a new vortex and leaving the old. So yeah, anyway, so this is clarified by the Two of Cups in reverse and 10 of Wands in reverse and 8 of Swords in reverse. So Two of Cups upwards is all about union, connection, and love. It's definitely like a counterpart card, and it's very much like, oh, like, you know, in your feels about someone and like knowing that they're the one. It's in reverse, and the only message I'm really getting is that yeah, like there is like separation going on between you and your person, but it's like it's not a bad thing. Like this is just part of the process, and it's actually alignment, and it's just guiding you to love yourself inwards. It's about inner healing and learning to have inner love for oneself. You don't need to be focusing on your divine masculine, because honestly, I had like the biggest aha moment a couple days ago. I was watching a old YouTube of Jeff and Shalia's from Twin Flames Universe, and it was the question, do you have to be perfect to be in your union? And you really don't have to. That's not what this is. It's about manifesting and like coming into a certain vibration to be able to handle this amount of love, because union requires a huge amount of love. And you know, coming from someone that has been in union, or the energies of union, it is a very big vibration. And you have to be able to have high spiritual maturity and high spiritual discipline. And one thing that like I find that a lot of people struggle with, like myself included, is, you know, not allowing like those ego and fear thoughts and patterns pull you backwards. So, yeah, like what I was saying is that, like, you know, she said, this is how you come into union with your twin flame, or harmonious twin flame union. And that is, you give yourself self-love and you heal your vibration, and you work on manifesting it. Like, that is how you come into your union. It's literally about healing your vibration and learning how to unconditionally love yourself. That's all it is. And I think that we really complicate it, and like we think that like it's outside of ourselves, but it's not. It's within. And you know, you just have to keep taking that one step in front of the other to keep clearing those blocks. Because the one thing that I have really learned from being in, you know, those union energies for a couple months was that my consciousness is so vast, and there are blocks that I just would never have been aware of without being around my twin flame. So it's I have a lot of gratitude and like thankfulness like towards like that experience. Anyway, so also we have 10 of Wands in reverse and 8 of Swords in reverse. So what I'm getting from those two cards is that, like, you know, keep going, keep taking one step in front of the other. You are really close to a breakthrough. And, you know, that breakthrough could be within your life purpose, within your union, within your personal life, or just like something that's, well, I mean, it's always inward, but sometimes like you have to have like an inner breakthrough before things kind of start manifesting on the 3D. And yeah, like when I see the 8 of Swords in reverse, it always really excites me, because it's like that cue that, wow, like you're like something is going to get removed from your path, like an obstacle, and it's going to help you really draw forward. And yeah, like the 8 of Swords upright is all about like your own mental prison, and it's literally your thoughts and your beliefs and your patterns keeping you stuck there. The traditional tarot, Rider, like the Rider Tarot, tarot, that's funny, tarot, it's a person or a lady who, her prison is literally, she's like wrapped up in bondage that is so easily like for her to get out of. And when like these like swords like are surrounding her, but like it's like it would be so easy for her to get herself out of this mess if she would literally just take the blindfold off. But because she was just so stuck in her limiting beliefs and feelings of like, oh, I can't do it, like victim mentality, she just was choosing to stay in her own prison. And this prison is a facade. Like it's literally caused by illusion, and all she needed to do was take that like blindfold off and be like, wow. And that's what I see this breakthrough being, is that like for some it might be something manifesting in the 3D world. Actually, yeah, like that's a huge possibility. But what Spirit's saying is that like don't disregard those breakthroughs that are inwards, because that is what like actually pulls you through to the next level, to your next vortex. And you will feel like when you're coming really close to the next vortex, because like you will have like this energy of like, you know, like being like, you could just knock on the door and it could just open. Yeah, Spirit's got lots to say. I've just been like on a tangent. So the next card is Judgment, and it is the High Priestess in reverse. So Judgment to me, okay, yeah. So like right now the Divine Feminine might be working through like some blockages, and usually, you know, I see a card and I like have like all the channeling that I need, but what I'm getting is like a blank like stare. Like I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what to say about the card other than like, oh, it reminds me of life purpose. So what Spirit's saying is that like, you know, it's not always a bad thing that you don't really have all the answers, and clarity will come through to you. And like in this card, it's a monkey, like a monkey figure, holding like a stick, looking towards the sun. And then in the sun, there's a lotus flower, but the clouds are parting. They haven't completely parted. So it's like, it's okay to not have clarity and to kind of feel like, you're a little bit blocked right now. And I think that's why, I got the High Priestess in reverse as a clarifier. I do feel that like the Divine Feminine is working through like a lot of like heart blockages and clearing that in her heart chakra. I have actually been experiencing like tender likeness around like my sternum and like my collarbone, and like a lot of pain in like my shoulders. And I thought that, oh, I just needed like to go to the chiropractor, but like it seemed like it was just so much deeper. And I think that's like kind of calling to show us that, you know, like there is a lot of deep healing going on with the Divine Feminine's chakras and consciousness. And it's like there's such deep healing that you like, it's just like hard to even like fathom, because like we don't really understand how complex and vast the consciousness is, and like even like the human body, and like how interwoven the consciousness is with the body. And what I'm getting is that, you know, like when your chakras have blockages, it does not damage, but like it can cause like temporary pain, or it just makes everything out of balance. And I'm getting that Spirit's like really focusing on the heart chakra for the Divine Feminine. So like it kind of makes sense that there's been like a lot of like grief and sadness being released, because your heart chakra, well, it's love. It's, you know, I believe that like the heart chakra is directly connected to joy and happiness. And if you have blockages there, and in receiving love, you know, you have to release that sadness and that grief. And you know, people are so used to saying depression, but I've been really like contemplating and reflecting on what is depression even. I almost feel like it's like a scientific word to explain like, you know, the those emotions. But in the healing spiritual world and people that understand upheaval, I really think that it's not depression. It's a release of sadness and grief, and like, you know, just those feelings. And, you know, it's okay to have these feelings. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Don't attach to them. That is the problem. And that is that Eight of Swords energy, you know, attaching to what you're feeling or thinking. And like, it comes to mind, like, you know, just because you think it doesn't make it true. Just because you're feeling it, you know, I mean, it does kind of like make it true because like that is your experience, but don't just like rush to be like, oh man, like am I having an anxiety disorder or like am I depressed? I know that's pretty easy to like go there, but last year, after the mind alignment process, I was experiencing a heightened amount of anxiety, and I kind of felt like I was going backwards and having like a lot of anxiety attacks. And I just felt like I was going back into old patterns, but basically it was kind of like, the bow and arrow, it goes back before it shoots forward. And I was just releasing all that anxiety, and I really don't experience much anxiety at all. In fact, I've noticed how calm I am in general. And I was like, wow, like I don't really experience excitement as like I used to. I still experience that joy and exhilaration, but like I don't, my like physiological body doesn't like get hyped up like that. And I thought that was really interesting and probably had a lot to do with how much anxiety and anxious energy that I have released in the past. And so like if you are feeling sad and grief and like you're depressed, I have quotation marks with my fingers, just don't attach to it. You are releasing those feelings. And I really highly suggest watching like something that makes you feel inspired. So like if you watch Twin Flame Ascension School, watch that. Or, your favorite inspirational speaker or, something like that, to kind of just like get you out of that doom or gloom and, remind you that like this is like the way of the spiritual world. It is a lifestyle. Okay, so now we have the Three of Cups clarified by the Nine of Wands. And so the Three of Cups for me, especially in this part, is that like there is going to be a lot of blessings and celebration coming, and you just like have to just keep putting that one step in front of the other. And it's clarified by the Nine of Wands in reverse. And so that's just like confirming that, like your hard times and like this hopeless what was me energy will dissipate. And I just got the inspiration to cut the deck, and it's King of Cups upwards. And so King of Cups is all about like, deep emotions, and like I feel like we're coming into deeper joy and deeper happiness and deeper peace. And it's like the King of Cups, he just doesn't really like express it outwardly, but he feels it. So what I'm getting from that is that like it's all about like the feeling that you're coming into, and that is beautiful. And then we have those angel answers: no, big happy changes, abundance. And I really think that like it's like, yeah, like right now is not the time for action. It's for going inwards and doing your healing and cultivating like what you want. And yeah, like I'm really getting like this is the time for creating routines of self-care, really figuring out like what you want, what makes you happy as a person. And sometimes like it does call for you to like do outwardly action, but what I'm really getting from this reading is that that's not required right now. It's honestly, I'm getting like this vision of like if you want to put on your Snuggie and just drink tea every weekend until you start like getting out of this energy, that is totally okay. Do whatever feels really good for you, because what's going on in a like a unconscious level, and it hasn't really manifested in the 3D, is like it's almost like you're like having like an activation of who you were going to be, like when you level up. And it's like a preparation phase, or, you know, like when the butterfly is in a cocoon and then, you know, is ready to spread their wings. So yeah, like I'm really just getting like this vision of the divine feminine nurturing herself so much. Like, you feel like you're loving yourself, love yourself even more. Like, just like do whatever you want. Like, I will kid you not, I slept for 24 hours, not this weekend, but last weekend. And I mean, I woke up a couple times, but I just was so exhausted, but I did not feel bad about it. Like, I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. And I woke up the next day and I felt like I had a lot more energy. And yeah, like this card, align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? I'm honestly getting that, like, you don't even really need to like do anything outwardly there. Like, it's kind of like spirit is kind of taking out the garbage for you, but that it's on a cellular level, like inside. If you have not been feeling the need to like connect with your divine masculine, or anyone really, but specifically your divine masculine, it's okay. And that is actually divinely guided. It's actually, this reading is for people that are in separation with their divine masculine. Like, it wouldn't really work out for people that are in union. But yeah, it's just like, it's just not the time right now. Like, it's really being like nailed down into the divine feminine's like consciousness. And like, I'm kind of seeing like this vision of like, just, I don't know, like a cartoon, like hitting a mole over the head. And it's like the divine feminine is really being given the message that your divine masculine will not make you happy if you are not happy within yourself. And I can attest to that, because I came into a healing cycle and I was in a relationship with my divine masculine where so many triggers came up that were so painful that not even like my divine masculine could really make feel better. And in fact, he amplified them. And I was like, what the heck? Like, are we not meant to be together? But that's not what it was. It was these things that were like bubbling up from my consciousness. And like, I remember having a conversation with him, and like, we were both like experiencing triggers, but it was so obvious that like, it wasn't from each other. It was from our past relationships and these past hurts. And yeah, like, it's like, get it through your head that like your divine masculine is not your source, and they will not make you happy, even if they could, because it's just, that is not how it works. And it's even like that in a soulmate relationship. Like, it will eventually wear off, and you will be like, wow, that person isn't my source. Why am I so unhappy? Like, so people will start exercising, or they will, you know, start like really becoming like a workaholic. And it's because like they're missing that piece. Like, they haven't realized that they cultivate everything that they need within themselves to make them happy. And, you know, become that whole individual for your union, because you don't want your divine masculine to not be a whole individual in themselves. So you need to become that yourself. Become the change that you want. Yeah, so like the next like cards that like are like really coming to focus right now are the Dark Mirror cards. And I'm just really like getting that energy of like, you're kind of being isolated on purpose by the divine. And, you know, sometimes you can be like around like a ton of people and still feel alone. And Spirit's saying, well, if like you're already feeling that way, like how can you actually like make this, hold on, I'm just trying to like get clarity here. Oh, okay. So like, is, distracting yourself and like trying to numb yourself out and like, like bring all these connections into your life, is that actually like helping? Is that making you feel better? And like Spirit's saying, actually do like what is going to make you feel better, because I keep getting that vision of like the divine feminine in a like a very cozy like onesie or in like a blanket, and just like nurturing her soul with like a hot chocolate or tea, like just real big comfort vibes. And yeah, like Spirit's saying that you might be feeling like I need to like distract myself from like these really painful feelings, but that's not it. Like it's not actually like what's going on. Like it's just being released. And when we resist, we actually like make it worse for ourselves. So really like reflect on like what you need in this process. And then Spirit's like really calling me to this one card. It's called Downcast Pride. So like sometimes, like when we're going through like a hard time, we're always trying to like have solutions and make up reasons for what we're feeling or what we're going through. And what Spirit's saying is that you don't really need to do that. And it's kind of like the same energy of like, checking up on like a seed that's growing. And like I'm just kind of getting like, it's like just let things be and really focus on grounding yourself and just letting the storm pass, because I'm getting like, like there's not necessarily a solution, because like it's what's coming up, it's you called it in and it has to come up, or you're going to experience it in your union, and that won't be fun because it will be amplified. So just let it come up. I had a little bit of a blockage there, and I think it's really saying is that like don't try to like get into your ego mind and fearful mind and like try to like fix things and have an answer for everything, because you're safe. Like you don't necessarily need an answer, because the answer is that you're safe and you're all right, and like this is part of the process. And and that really ties in with like the message that like ego, when it's dying, when you're having an ego death. And I think that the divine feminine collective that I'm picking up on is really having a huge ego death and rebirth. Well, you're not in the rebirth energy yet. It's like you're in this massive energy of release, and as you were releasing, you were probably getting like a lot of aha moments and a lot of clarity, and Spirit's telling you to pay attention to that. And now Spirit's like kind of guiding me to this back and forth card, and it's of a man that's like on a seesaw, and he's got both legs, one on one side and one on the other, and he's like kind of like going back and forth, and it's tying into that downcast pride card. And it's like playing mind games with yourself and like trying to find a solution is just gonna make things more hectic and chaotic, and like make those feelings that you are having worse. So just let the upheaval pass and just accept where you are in your healing journey and embrace the change. because Spirit's saying that like there is like a massive breakthrough coming, and more than one breakthrough. And you know, like it's like I don't know if it's because like we have like so many people like healing nowadays, but like there is like a tremendous momentum of energy behind the Divine Feminine Collective. And I think that like we're just healing at such a high rate, and like it's just like breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, because when you call in all these big happy changes and you are doing the work works, and you will get it. And sometimes like it's like 1, 2, 3, like, you know, like holy blessing after blessing after blessing, and then you get to a point where you're kind of just like flatlined, and like, you know, you feel like nothing's happening. But that's just because like, you know, you're in the cycle of like healing and manifesting those changes. Yeah, so like the the back of the deck energy for the tarot is 10 of Swords, and yeah, just breakthroughs and inner healing. Inner healing causes breakthroughs. Yeah, just have like that trust and gratitude in the divine, because like they're bringing you, like God's like, I am bringing you what you want. So just relax, surrender, and allow what needs to pass. And yeah, like I think sometimes like we have been programmed to be so scared of the feelings that we feel, that when we do feel like those yucky feelings like sadness and grief, we kind of panic, and it's like, oh no, I can't be feeling that. But like feelings are fluid, and feelings really have more meaning when you attach to them. So like if you put the meaning as, okay, I'm feeling this, but I'm going to actually like be grateful and feel joy about this, because I'm actually releasing these feelings, and I'm calling in more joy and enlightenment and happiness. And that, like, you know, just follow the teachings, and follow like the teachings of your heart, and follow like, you know, one of the biggest lessons that I have been learning through this whole entire journey, and I've been doing on my spiritual journey, even before like I found my twin flame, but like for 7 years since 2017. And one of the biggest lessons, and the hardest one, and like one that I like, it seems like it heals at such a snail pace, is actually trusting my intuition. But every time I do trust my intuition, like it brings me exactly what I thought it would. But what's even more is that, you know, when I don't trust my intuition, and then I get the same confirmation from someone else, or like I find out the truth, and I'm like, well, I already knew this because that's what my intuition was telling me. That's what my heart was telling me. Like it happens every time. And I feel like a lot of divine feminines will agree with that. And what Spirit's saying is that like, you know what's going on, and follow that intuition, follow the teachings in your heart, because whether like you're a student of the teachings of Union, or like, you know, you're just a very spiritual person, and you know, you follow Buddhism, or like any, because like, you know, like whatever you're doing to help yourself heal and raise your vibration, it's been teaching you that all along. And I think you know that like everything's going to be okay, and that you are in a very high transformation state, and everything is going to be okay, and there is a dawn after the darkness. So yeah, that was quite the tangent, but it was such a beautiful reading, and Spirit really needed the Divine Feminine to know this. And I felt called to say the numbers that I'm seeing are 9, 4, 2, and 6. And 2 4s. Oh, no, 2 6s, 2 4s. Oh, and then we got a couple 9s. So like that's energy of ending cycles and releasing cycles and stability and healing. So I think that's absolutely amazing. All right, guys. It's been such a pleasure reading for you. I really hope this like helps give some clarity and comfort, because sometimes going through these energies can be quite difficult, and I just like wanted to shed some light, and I felt very guided. So you guys have a lovely day.